This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dryden. The World of Outlaws. NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The World of Outlaws. Morton Buildings Late Models. Knoxville Raceway. And the Knoxville Nationals. And the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint car and late model fast passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
Human horsepower, NOS energy drink, high performance energy.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
$10,000 is getting ready to get shoved into the back pocket of Alex Bergeron as we come to the home of the World of Outlaws World Finals, one of the most impressive dirt events that happens all year across the entirety of the United States. Will Alex be able to put away the championship tonight, or will it extend into the final race next week at Knoxville? Find out in just a couple of moments, right after we take a peek at some of the newest content coming to the iRacing service, the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series and Wild West Motorsports Park. This is the 9th round of the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car World Championship coming at you.
This is Jim Beaver, voice of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Introducing Pro 2 and Pro 4 trucks on iRacing. Game on!
Welcome here to Race Spot TV and the iRacing Esports Network as coverage picks up for the 9th round of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Championship Series here at Charlotte. Myself and Chase Rodman bringing you all the action. Hugo Louis pushing the cameras down there, or pushing the buttons controlling the cameras in the broadcast booth. And Chase, coming into this one, the discussion is all about points for that championship situation. Alex currently leads with a comfortable margin of 74 points over David Heilemann. He is 10 points shy of getting out of here with the championship in hand at the end of the night. And of course, everyone's looking at that $10,000 check for winning the championship. But we also need to keep an eye on that fight between David and James, because there's a $2,000 difference there between second and third.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's starting to come down to the wire, especially for that second spot. But right here, this is where it could be decided right here in qualifying. As we mentioned a couple times this season, quick time with these guys is an extra 6 points in the championship standings. So if Alex goes quick time like he's done several times this season, he can maybe extend that lead to maybe, 4 points he would need to totally wrap it up. So he could get 6 right here and then earn even more in the heat race to be able to win there. So he very well, like we've mentioned a couple times, he could very well leave tonight with that $10,000 check in his back pocket.
Qualifying currently underway, and it's the 71 of Cole Cabre on his first hot lap. He went to the top of the timing sheet as he comes off turn 4 on lap number 2. We'll see if he improves and he will actually drop a couple tenths. So 13.530 is where the bar has been set for your competitors out there, still waiting on a couple guys to get out there and to hit the racetrack. James Edens has a decent lap in there of a 13.711, but that's going to put him only 6th best. And I don't think we have David Heilemann having run in a lap just yet either. No, we haven't. Actually, he's out on the track right now. First lap of the 13.644. That's going to put him 4th quick in that number 49.
Yeah, that's a good start for him right there. He drops it down to the middle part of the racetrack here on lap number 2, brings it up to the top off turn 4. Second lap looks like it'll be a little bit slower, a little bit faster. It goes up to 3rd quick. There we go. 16.33 or 13.633 for Heilemann up there. Goes to 3rd quick. And you know what, there, Randy? I think we might see a first-time winner here tonight. That 49 car, we have not seen him go to victory lane 1 time this season. He's ran 2nd 2 times. He's ran 3rd a million times. I think we see a first-time winner here tonight if it's not Alex Bergeron. Another guy I want to keep an eye on here tonight. I was talking to him last week after the races. Joel Berkeley, who's currently 4th in the point standings. The last couple of weeks, the last 4 weeks to be exact, he has passed 64 other drivers in A main competition. He passed 17 cars of Evolution, 19 at Kokomo, 12 at Eldora, and 16 at Williams Grove. So if Berkeley can get himself a good qualifying lap in here, I think he might have a shot to win this thing here tonight. He's on a hot streak lately.
The 12 rolls out of the infield and is about to start his first hot lap of the night. So Alex Bergeron with points on the line, and we need to keep an eye on the qualifying time here. He rolls down the back straight and in towards corners number 3 and 4. Does the ABR number 12, slides right through the center of the racetrack. First time is going to be at 13.811. That is not up to pace, puts him well down the order. Will he improve his second trip around the racetrack? I think he may have found the wall at the exit of turn 2, and through 3 and 4 he rolls
This is not going to be good.
Doesn't look like it's going to be quick, and this is going to be a 13.759. Alex, importantly, will not pick up points in the championship, and that through qualifying, and that means both David and James will make up ground.
Well, I don't know if James will make up any ground, but definitely David Heilemann will make up at least 3 points, I believe, right there. And Alex Bergeron, that is his worst qualifying effort we've seen so far this year. But you know what, Randy? I got to think that 12 car, he's such a smart driver, and he does not get himself in bad situations too often. I think maybe he's playing it safe right there, trying not to tear up his car there in qualifying, just wanting to get a decent lap in. He'll start 4th here in this heat race, and we're taking the top 4 to the main event. So he's got himself a good shot to easily transfer to the feature as we get this first heat race lined up here.
Well, as we get that first heat race stood up, it's actually going to be a very important one because 2 of your 3 championship contenders are in it. Let's go down the starting grid for heat race number 1. It's going to be Cole Cabre and Matt McKinney on that front row, a pair of teammates. And then here they are, third place in the point starts third. That's James Edens. He's 80 points behind Alex coming into this, and Alex is going to start right next to him. So this is one of James's greatest opportunities thus far this season to make up some points. Anthony Lepresto and Cole Newhoffen will roll off on road number 3 with Bobby Sant Jr. and Wayne Williams on road number 4. Edens has to show up right here, right now in heat race number 1 and keep that 12 car behind him.
Yeah, the real tough thing for Heilemann and James is really the pressure's on them here. Alex, like we've talked about, he's got over a 70-point advantage heading into the night, so really the pressure's off of him. He's just got to perform and just have a halfway decent night, and then all he's got to do is have a decent night at Knoxville. Really, James and David have to come here and put on a show. They have to drive the wheels off these sprint cars here tonight, and James, like you said, I feel like he has to win this heat race here to even have a shot at the championship heading into Knoxville. I think right now David is definitely the next best guy in the championship standings, as James did not qualify there in the top 6, did not gain any ground on Alex. So right now, how about the 3 teammates starting up front in this one? Cole Cabray, Matt McKinney, and James Edens. It's a Swindell Speed Lab Esports top 3 starting right here. And then, like we talked about, Alex Bergeron right there in 4th. And then Anthony Lepresto, Cole Newhoffen, they're on row number 3 as we get going on this final pace lap. We'll turn them loose next time by off turn number 4.
Just to reiterate the point situation, 84 points is the buffer Alex needs to win the championship tonight. If he leaves here with an 83-point lead, all he has to do is show up next week and start a heat race, and he will be your champion. But let's watch heat race number 1 first. And can James Edens keep the gap down? Cole Cabray is going to hold him up through 3 and 4, pushes the whole field to the top side of the racetrack. Not typical that you see that. Cole's going to get on it. We are green in heat race number 1, and Alex has a decent start, but James is going to hop up into 3rd, and he's going to fight with his teammate for 2nd.
Yeah, James Edens down on the bottom. Matt McKinney has a run on the top side of the racetrack, goes back by Edens. Now he looks down to the inside of his other teammate, Cole Cabray, for the lead. They nearly make contact there off turn number 4. Cabray will lead that. Oh, that was almost bad right there for Bergeron. He ran into the right rear tire, Matt McKinney. Bergeron thinks better of it, gets out of the throttle right there, and falls back in line as James Edens now moves into the 2nd spot by Matt McKinney, and now sets his sights on his teammate down the front straightaway.
Down the front straightaway at the end of lap number 2, Cole Cabray still going to lead this race. Edens trying to get out there to the head of the field. Look at the 12 of Bergeron. Is McKinney maybe running a little bit of a defensive line, trying to help his teammate of James Edens off of turn 4 down the front stretch. And McKinney's been successful at keeping that black and yellow number 12 in the rearview mirror as Edens will go to the point.
Yeah, James Edens, a great move right there. Turned it down the hill in the middle of turns 1 and 2 and took the lead. Now Bergeron looks to the inside of Matt McKinney for the 3rd spot. Falls back in line down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go. Alex has a pretty good gap back to the 5th place car of Anthony Lepresto. Oh, there's contact behind him, actually, between Lepresto and Newhoffen. And Bobby Sant Jr. now moves into the 5th spot. So a big gap from 4th to 5th right now. Alex is sitting pretty comfortable.
Top 4 for the transfer is pretty much cleaned out. I don't think we're going to see, unless an incident, either of those guys running 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th work their way up. But look at the slider from Anthony Lepresto in the background on Bobby Sant Jr. He's going to get that job done as your top 4 roll through 1 and 2, single file. Everyone rolling the top. Alex, I think, collects the wall, and maybe Matt McKinney a little bit as well. Slide job line from the 12 of Bergeron, and he will pick up that 3rd spot, but not for long. And McKinney's going to get a run. White flag in towards 1 and 2. Alex throws the slider once again. I think McKinney is now just about going to get the run in towards turn 3. Can Alex turn it back down? James Edens will win heat race number 1, but where is Alex going to finish? He is going to round out the 4th spot, so it's going to be Swindell Speed Lab Esports 1, 2, 3, with Bergeron rounding out that 4th and final spot. That'll guarantee him a transfer into the main tonight, but he's going to be starting pretty deep for all of our, in comparison to all our heat race transfers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where that'll exactly line him up. It'll be probably around the 12th, between 12th and 14th or 16th, I think, right there. So Bergeron's going to be right in the thick of things by the time the feature rolls around as James Edens wins it. Cole Cabray, Matt McKinney, Alex Bergeron, the top 4. Cole Newhoffen, Anthony Lepresto, Bobby Sant Jr., and Wayne Williams will be the 4 drivers heading off to one of the B mains later on tonight as we got heat race number 2 now lining up there, Randy.
James is able to bring in 3 points on Alex there. Let's go down your starting grid for heat race number 2. It's going to be Ryan Mayer and Braden Eiler on that front row. Austin Semmelman and Adam Elby on row number 2. Nick Cooper and Cameron Dance on row 3 with Jesse Dawkins and Chase Cabray supposed to be tagging the back of the field here, but I don't believe the 39 is actually in the server. So it's going to be a 7-car second heat race here as they roll themselves out. And that 18 of Austin Selman, I think he's really the one looking to have another big night here tonight, Chase. He's picked up a bit of momentum late in this season. Had a pretty decent outing out there at Williams Grove, but the 18 car, I know he's still frustrated with how this season as a whole has gone.
Yeah, Selman had a really good start to the year. He ended up third at the first race at Volusia. He's had a decent year so far. I mean, he's fifth right now in the championship standings, so you can't really hang your head about that one. But I'm sure Selman and a lot of other drivers in this championship series thought that he might pick up a win or two this season, as he's one of the most fierce drivers on the iRacing service as far as the sprint cars are concerned. So hasn't really had the year he's looked for, but not a bad showing overall. So how about Ryan Mayer though on the pole of this heat race there, Randy? We haven't really talked about him too much. I don't think he's made too many main events so far this season, but he got himself a good qualifying effort, and he's got the best seat in the house here as we look for the green flag here in heat race number 2 off turn 4. It's Mayer, Bray Nyler, Austin Selman, and Adam Elby, your first 2 rows. Here we go off turn number 4. Nice and slow start. They get on it, and we're green in heat race number 2.
In towards turn 1 for the first time. The 18 of Austin Selman going to take that second spot away. 3 abreast for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As they roll down the back straightaway, Selman will take the point in the second heat race. Slider line from Elby up the middle. Can't quite get to Mayer, as Cooper's going to work his left rear tire in towards 1 and 2. As Mayer's got the top side of the racetrack. Selman rolls the bottom instantly enough, and that's going to bite him as Ryan's able to get a run.
Yeah, it looks like the top might be a lot better right now than the bottom of the racetrack, as here comes Mayer with a big run to the inside now of Austin Selman looking for the lead. The top 4 side by side, 2 rows deep. Ray Nyler back there in the 5th spot trying to track him down as they go side by side for lead down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Right now give the nod, it looks like, to the 18 of Selman. He'll lead lap number 4 as we go halfway in this one. Mayer now slots back into second as Nick Cooper continues to work down to the inside of Adam Elby for the 3rd spot.
But look at the run. Elby gets off the cushion down the back straightaway. He'll take that 3rd spot back from Nick Cooper. Off of 4, though, Ryan Mayer gets to the left rear tire of Austin Selman. Can't quite make anything of it, though, just yet, as Cooper still running the bottom, just about able to roll it. Wow. Austin, not great, not hooked up off of turn 2. That's going to stack up this top 4 in towards 3 and 4, coming to 3 laps to go.
My goodness, these guys have not gone single file, looks like, this entire race. They're still side by side, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. A big slider for 5th as Cameron Dance gets into it with Bray Nyler, but back up front, Nick Cooper goes from 4th to the lead and on the back straightaway. Now Austin Selman back around him on the outside. It looks like the bottom is really good in 1 and 2, but not as good down in 3 and 4.
Nick Cooper gets his way into the 2nd spot. That race car is fast. Can he get to Austin Selman? White flag this time off of turn 4. Cooper's in 2nd, and Austin has been able to open up a little bit of a gap. Mayer into the back of Adam Elby in the background. Ryan's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack, but Cooper has run. Elby's in the wall. He's not going to transfer, but Nick Cooper, can he make something of this off 4? Answer's going to be no, as Austin Selman will win heat race number 2. Nick Cooper, what a run from him. He goes from 5th to 2nd. Ryan Mayer 3rd, and Braden Eiler benefits off of Adam Elby's mistake, and he will take the last transfer spot here in heat race number 2.
Yeah, wow, Merry Christmas to Bray Nyler, as he was pretty much locked into that 5th spot coming down the back straightaway. Then Adam Elby got into the outside wall and then hit one of the tractor tires down there in turn 3. My goodness, that was an incredible heat race right there, Randy. We saw those guys side by side nearly the entire race. It was Austin Selman with the win, Nick Cooper 2nd, Ryan Mayer, Braden Eiler, your 4 transfers straight to the main event. Cameron Dance, Jesse Dawkins, Adam Elby, and Chase Cabre, if he's able to make it back into the race, will start in the B main a little bit later on tonight. 3rd heat race, man. I don't know if they can get much better than that last one, but what's the lineup looking like there, Randy?
Well, we got one very important driver in this one for sure in regards to the championship. The 49 of David Heileman will start on the point. We'll talk about that in a moment, with Blade Witt on the outside of that front row. Tim Ryan and Lewis Hewitt on row number 2, with Alex Smulders and Justin Thomas making up row 3, with Britton Roxbury and Logan Clampett rounding out this 8-car field. But this is David's first test of the night, I think, here, Chase. He qualified well. He's able to out-qualify Alex. Alex didn't have a great heat race, finishing 4th. I actually think that may have been Alex's worst heat of the entire season. David now has an opportunity to rein in some more points. He's already did it through qualifying. If he wins this heat race, that's going to basically be a free 7 points he's already picked up over Alex before we ever get to the main event.
I mean, David's doing just about everything he needs to be doing right now for this championship. He didn't go quick time, but he did gain points on Alex. If he wins this heat race, David is he's looking really solid right now, man. We talked to him last week in the post-race interview, and he said he's not even worried about this championship anymore. And I think that's the mentality that you really need when if you got the pressure on you. But I don't think David's feeling any pressure right now, man. I think he's just going out there. He wants to win a race so bad. I think that's the only thing he wants to do is win a race. And if he's able to do that tonight, then he might have to rethink this whole championship because he might have a shot going into Knoxville next week.
So they work down at the back straightaway. That number 49 car, David Heilemann, as Chase has said, he is definitely letting loose tonight. It's one of the probably the most fun driver of the entire grid to watch. Keep an eye on the TTL cars, though. If Nick Cooper with anything to go off of, green flag flies off of turn 4, and Heilemann opened up a big margin as Tim Ryan's going to try to slide Blade Witt through turn 1 and 2, and he nearly gets Heilemann as well.
Yeah, that was a close call there. The 98 car looks like it has some speed here. Ryan with multiple feature wins on the season. If you have just joined us for the first time, that 98 car has gone to victory lane a couple times, last season's champion. Now he's looking for the slider for the lead here in turns 1 and 2. He gets it clear. Now Heilemann back to the inside. Heilemann needs to win this lane, and now we're side by side, 3 wide for the second spot. It's Ryan. Oh, he nearly gets into Blade Witt, who's on the inside of him right there. Now they go 2 by 2. Look at Alex Smolders now. Randy, he goes down to the bottom. He's trying to take away that second spot as well.
Look at Justin Thomas in 5th. He's in the middle. He's going to open up a 4th line.
Wow.
Through 3 and 4. 4 abreast off of turn 4. Here at Charlotte, they get back 2 by 2 as they roll into 1, and that's going to see the Mode Motorsports car of Justin Thomas take that transfer spot away. Up the inside, 3 abreast again. Justin Thomas on Alex Smolders. Can't quite get the move done, but he'll just about get by Blade Witt as Lewis Hewitt has joined this party as they fan out 3 wide again through 1 and 2.
They're nearly 4 wide. There's 4 lanes of racing right now as Blade Witt nearly gets into the right rear tire. Tim Ryan right there. And Justin Thomas, I cannot believe it, started 6th on this thing. He's running 2nd right now. But meanwhile, David Heilemann is running away and hiding up front. He's going to get those free bonus points we talked about for winning this heat race. If he can go another 2 laps here, the battle for second still wages on between Justin Thomas, Tim Ryan, and the 7 car, Blade Witt. Now Tim Ryan's got it, but Thomas back around on the outside. We're coming around for the white flag this time by.
White flag in the second spot, still up for grabs. David Heilemann checked out and he's clear.
Whoa.
Tim Ryan gets loose on the bottom through 3 and 4. He's going to drop back to 4th and maybe into the clutches of Lewis Hewitt and Alex Smolders off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Blade Witt a little loose off the top. Hewitt, he has the transfer spot at the moment as they run through 3 and 4. Who's it going to be at the line? I think Lewis Hewitt is going to upset the 98 of Tim Ryan, and he is going to transfer out of heat race number 3. And Tim Ryan, after a fantastic heat race, will have to do it from the C or the B.
Yeah, Tim Ryan, man, once again, we'll see him in the B main. We called him the B main bandit there a couple times this season, but he ended up winning a couple of races, and we had to take that nickname away from him. But now we're going to give it back to him as he finds himself in the B main here tonight at Charlotte. Another unbelievable heat race here. Obviously, it wasn't for the win as Heilemann wins by nearly a second over Justin Thomas, man. But that was an incredible race for second. Thomas ends up in that spot. Blade Witt 3rd. Lewis Hewitt 4th. Tim Ryan, Britton Roxbury, Alex Smolders, and Logan Clampett will head off to the B main. Can we make it 4 for 4 on some good heat races here tonight, Randy?
I think we might very well just be able to do that, and it's going to be Joe Quinn who's going to lead off on the point here for heat race number 1 with the 15 of Nelson Webster on the outside of that front row. Rusty Kruger and Joel Berkeley on row number 2. Dylan Hauser and Joe Lusk on row 3 with Vinny Sansone tagging the back of the 7-car heat race number 4. I don't know who to talk about in this one, Chase, because Joel has been fun to watch coming from the back, and I think he needs to get a good finish. But I think it's hard to ignore the sort of momentum the 15 of Nelson Webster has seen the last couple weeks.
Well, and if Webster's anything from the real-life 15 car, Donnie Schatz, he won the last time the real-life World of Outlaws were here at the Charlotte Dirt Track. So he won at the World Finals. So maybe the 15 car, the one on real life and the one here in Sim can maybe share some setup notes and maybe put that 15 car in the Sim victory lane here tonight. But I think we got to be watching that 9 car. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the pre-race show. That 9 car, he's passed, I think I said 64 cars in the last 4 weeks in A main event competition. So Joel Berkeley is by far one of the best guys that can actually race when it comes feature time. So if he can have a good heat race right here, maybe finish second, he might have a shot to win this thing here tonight. As we're looking for the green flag right here off of turn number 4, it's going to be Joe Quinn leading him down, followed by Nelson Webster, Rusty Kruger in 3rd, and Joel Berkeley off turn number 4. We're green flag racing off turn number 4.
Joe Quinn gets a nice clean start. Look at Rusty Kruger. He peeks up the inside of the 15 and Nelson Webster. Nelson a little bit loose through 1 and 2. They're going to be 3 wide already for that second spot. Rusty Kruger is going to pick it up for a moment, but will not hold it. Do the entry into 3, but Joel Berkeley, he tags the top side of the racetrack, and he hops his way right up into second.
Yeah, Berkeley doesn't win this heat race, I will be amazed as he's already tracked down the 90 car of Joe Quinn. He looks down to the inside now as Quinn goes up to the top. Slider for the lead. Give it to Berkeley now. Quinn turns it back down to the inside. Might he throw a slider into 1 and 2? And he does. Quinn back out front. Now the 9 car, Berkeley, the big run. He's sideways, hangs onto it, still has momentum and turns it back to the inside of Quinn. Good battle going on up front in this one.
Fast forward media 10K, and Rusty Kruger rolls the bottom as he deals with Nelson Webster and Joe Quinn. Rusty wants to put in another good night of racing. He wants to start towards the front of this feature. Dylan Hauser, a little bit of contact in the background with Joe Lusk. Vinny Sansone will just about be able to get clear of both of those drivers and potentially pressure for the transfer spot as Berkeley has opened up a little bit of a margin, and Rusty's got his way into second.
Yeah, the battle for the 4th spot right now is heating up between the 15 of Webster, the 2 car of Hauser to the inside, nearly slides him, and the 80 car of Vinny Sansone. It's a 3-car battle for the final transfer spot. Now you can even throw the 20 car of Joe Lusk in the mix as Hauser throws the slider on Webster. He's into the transfer spot. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway now.
They're 3 wide, and Joe Lusk did not want to lift. We're nearly 4 wide as Webster is currently going to be the one who holds on to that transfer spot, but the TTL cars have been fast as Hauser finds the wall. Joe Lusk in the wall behind him as well, from 4 cars to 2 as they head into turn 3. Vinny Sansone all over the back of the 15 car Nelson Webster, and they both have been tracking down the number 90 of Joe Quinn. White flag this time around the racetrack, and Vinny Sansone works the top side for the transfer spot. Nelson will hold it down low. Berkeley, he is clear for the win, but who's going to get the ticket into the main event tonight? It's going to be the 15 of Nelson Webster.
A good job right there in that final corner by Nelson Webster. He blocked the slider line from the 80 car of Sansone, and Sansone had to try and run the bottom, did not really have the car to run down there, and the 15 was able to tag the cushion there off the 4th corner and maintain that 4th position. So Nelson Webster, a good piece of driving right there. He'll find the final transfer spot in that one, but the win will go to the number 9 car of Joel Berkeley, and I talked about it earlier, Randy. This will be the best starting spot that Joel Berkeley's had in weeks in this series. He will start in 4th place tonight in the main event, and I think he's going to be one to watch for the future win.
Yeah, we've been talking about that 9 car and his struggles. I just want to give some congratulations to Rusty Kruger. I think this is going to be one of his best starting spots for the main event we've seen all season. So things definitely really spicing up here today, both in the championship and seeing some new names finally get some momentum here late in this championship. Let's go down the starting grid for your C main. 2 spots up for grabs in the main event. Let's see who's going to take them. Cole Newhoffen and Tim Ryan will be starting on that front row, with Anthony Lepresto and Britton Roxbury on row number 2. Bobby St. Jr. and Alex Smulders will make up row 3, with Wayne Williams tagging the back of this field. The 98 of Tim Ryan, based on what we saw through the heats, I think, Chase, really is the clear favorite, and it may very well be a fight for that second spot once we get 2 or 3 laps into this thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a really good battle going on for second here in this B main, with Britton Roxbury's in here. Anthony Lepresto, we know he's not afraid to throw a couple sliders. Obviously, your pole sitter Cole Newhoffen has had some good runs so far this season. Bobby Sant Jr., man, he's made some headlines over the last couple of weeks. I think that he could be a guy that could throw his hat in the ring here for the second spot. Right now, not for anyone, I think, is Alex Smulders also in this one as well. So a lot of guys that are not afraid to throw it all on the line here, and they want to make this feature just as bad as everybody else. So this is going to be a good one. It should be 12 laps to distance here in B main number 1. Only 2 drivers, like Randy mentioned, only 2 of them will transfer to the back of the A main event here tonight. They will start would it be 17th and 19th there, Randy?
Yes, this would be, I believe, the inside rope. Other one would be at the outside line, just to overcomplicate things for everybody. But you are right, that 211 in the background of Alex Smulders was extraordinarily fast in his heat race, just unfortunately found the wall, and that is why he found himself in the LCQ. But I think he's going to very much be up there and be a part of this. Cole Newhoffen, though, in command of the field in the 11 car, and the 98 of Tim Ryan already starting to shut the door on him, trying to force Cole down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Cole forces his right foot down to the floor as we are green in LCQ number 1. Tim Ryan right up to the top of the racetrack as Lepresto in the background tries to run the bottom.
Yeah, here comes the 421 of Roxbury now to the back bumper of Tim Ryan. He looks down to the inside. They're 3 wide for the transfer spot. Spread out way across the racetrack here at the Charlotte Dirt Track. Right now, Tim Ryan still has that second spot as Britton Roxbury has a little bit of a hiccup right there on the top side of the racetrack in 1 and 2. And Ryan gets away a little bit. Looks like Tim Ryan solidly in second as they exit the 4th corner. Cole Newhoffen doing a great job up front right now.
He definitely is. The 98 of Tim Ryan, though, is tracking him down. Look at the way Tim can hook up the top side. He just reels in so much ground on the entry. It's not even the exit, which is typically where you see the top race strong. As Tim Ryan coming off of turn 4 will just about get to that race lead, but no, not quite. 900ths of a second the gap at the stripe. A little bit of contact maybe as Tim gets loose, and the 421 of Roxbury is there. They're nearly 3 abreast in the background as well.
Yeah, Ryan just threw the slider on Newhoffen for the lead. Newhoffen turns it back down to the inside while they're battling. Here comes the 421 of Roxbury back to the rear bumper of Tim Ryan. They're 3 wide, or excuse me, not 3 wide, but a 3-car battle for the lead. Here comes Ryan with another slider on the 11 car of Newhoffen. Now the 421's got to run on Ryan. 3-car battle for the lead, 3 wide now as they are getting after it up front. The 211 of Alex Smulders into the 4th spot. Into the tracking out contact. Whoa, the 421 of Roxbury. The 98 of Ryan, they hang on to it and keep on going.
Tim was trying to hook up that third line, but he got the door slammed on him off of 2. And look who's joined the party. It's the 211 of Alex Smulders. We're about to have 4 cars fighting over 2 transfer spots. Alex to the inside of Tim Ryan in towards turn 3, and he's going to have that done. But will he have the run off the corner? Answer is going to be no. So it's going to be Tim Ryan who just about gets the spot back, but slider line again. And Tim Ryan gets the door slammed on him, gets driven up into the wall. And that's going to be Tim's night pretty much done as Newhoffen and Roxbury, they'll hold the transfer spots.
Yeah, Roxbury and Newhoffen get away. Now the 131 of Bobby Sand Jr. moves into the 3rd spot momentarily. The 211 of Smulders right back down to the inside. That was a tough break there as Tim Ryan had a huge run on the top of the racetrack there, and Smulders ran the slider line, got up to the cushion right in front of Ryan. He ran into the back of him and got into the outside wall right there, and that will be the end of the night for Tim Ryan. Your top 2 drivers have pulled away the big time from the 3rd place car of Bobby Sand Jr. We might have a battle for the lead by the time this thing's over. There's still 2 laps to go in this one.
I think these guys will probably be relatively nice with one another, though they should know the gap they have behind them is quite large. Lap and a half left in LCQ number 1. The 421 of Roxbury, though, maybe he wants to fight for this 1 or 2 spot difference in the main event. Final lap here in LCQ number 1. Roxbury right over the rear fuel tank of Cole Newhoffen down the back straightaway. Does Britton throw a move? Cole's going to guard the slider line, but Britton has no intentions of running it. Off of turn 4, it's going to be Newhoffen at the stripe, but Britton really applying the pressure there over that number 11 car as those 2 are going to transfer. The Cole Newhoffen and Britton Roxbury. Bobby Sant Jr. is going to finish in that 3rd spot with the likes of Alex Smulders, Wayne Williams, Tim Ryan, and Anthony Lopresto. Tim actually ends up 3 laps down, and Tim, that was a rough LCQ there, Chase. He was pretty much a guarantee there probably for the win. He just gets the door slammed on him a couple times too much, and I think he just got terminal damage in that 98 Altus car.
Yeah, after he made contact there with the 11 car of Alex Smulders, I saw him kind of climb up the wall right there, and that probably jacked up the rear end of that car. So tough break for Tim Ryan. He'll have one more shot to put on a good show for us next week at Knoxville before the season's over. But last year's champion, man, the struggles continue. He's obviously had some shots of greatness this year, but another dismal night there for the 98 car Tim Ryan.
And we have an entertaining LCQ number 2 coming at you. 2 more spots up for grabs in the mains. Let's go down the starting grid. Cameron Dance and Vinny Sansone on the front row, with Jesse Dawkins and Joe Lusk on row number 2. Adam Elby and Dylan Hauser on row 3, with Chase Cabré got that 39 car up and running. He'll be starting this LCQ at the back alongside Logan Clampett, who starts in 8th. From what we've seen from the Swindell Speed Lab cars, we cannot count out that 74 and that 39, despite how deep they start in this LCQ chase. But the TTL cars have been quick as well, and Dylan Hauser starts right in between Adam and Chase.
Yeah, I think there's at least 5 cars in this one that can easily transfer out of this thing. Like you said, the Swindell cars of Elby and Cabré, the 44 Clampett, we've seen him in many main events this year. The 2 of Hauser's always good. And your front row, Cam Dance and Vinny Sansone, we've seen them have their fair share of success so far this season. So there's a lot of guys in this one that might be able to put on a show here. I think it's going to be a show no matter what. But the 39 of Cabré, man, a feature winner a couple weeks ago at Kokomo. He's got some work to do here. He's got to pass at least 6 or 5 cars to make it into a transfer spot. So we'll keep one eye up front and one eye on the 39 cars. We go green off turn number 4. The final B main of the night is green.
Jesse Dawkins tried to time the jump, and he just wasn't quite able to do it. But 3 abreast already for the point as Dawkins going to run the bottom. Sansone up the middle is going to drive right between both of them. Elby, a little bit of contact, gets into Chase Cabré, gets into Dylan Hauser. Joe Lusk may be involved. Everyone's going to keep running, but a couple of big moments of contact as Sansone will shuffle into the race lead.
And wow, the guy that made out like a bandit with that one was the 44 Logan Clamp. He moves into the third spot. He started dead last and was third by the end of the first lap, and now Clamp gets slid by Cabré. Those two drivers right now in third and fourth, they start on the final row of this one, and now they have made their way just one spot shy of a transfer spot. Cabré trying to track down Cam Dance now for the final transfer. Cabré did not run the heat race, did not run qualifying, and he is trying to just tag the back of a B main event here tonight and put it in the show. This would be quite something to see here if the 39 can pull it off.
3 abreast behind Chase Cabré between Dylan Hauser, Joe Lusk, and Logan Clamp, and in towards turn 3. Lusk will throw the slider line and get them both as Dylan finds the wall. Chase Cabré has been chasing down Cameron Dance as they go into turn 1. Hauser, maybe a little bit of contact onto the back of that 39 car, but not much. Chase will roll the cushion through 3 and 4. First time he's been up there. 44 Clamp ends up on his lid on the inside of the racetrack. His night is done as Chase fights with Cam Dance into 1.
Yeah, Cabré's got the spot now. He moves up in front of the 6 car of Cam Dance. That 39 car is absolutely rolling right now. The Plan B Sales.com number 39 car has rolled from 7th up to the 2nd spot here in this B main in only 7 laps. That is quite the run there as the 6 car of Cam Dance gets into the outside wall, slides down the racetrack, and that might seal the deal right there for the Swindell Speedline Esports number 39 car of Cabré. He's got a big gap now back to the 3rd place car of Dance.
Chase Cabré, though, he is not one to lay back here and run a quiet LCQ. I think he's going to put the pressure on the 80 of Vinny Sansone. He's been reeling him in every single trip around the racetrack, though the 80 seems to have picked up the pace just a little bit. 3 laps left in this heat race, and Vinny Sansone is actually doing a good job maintaining this gap behind, though. Cam Dance fights with Joe Lusk.
Yeah, Lusk has been running the top of the racetrack. Now Dance tries to slide in front, and they might have made some contact right there. Right rear to left here. Oh, Dance into the front straightaway wall right there, and that's going to jack him up entering turn 1. He hangs on to it, but now the 3rd spot belongs to Joe Lusk. Can he track down Chase Cabré here in the final laps? Last time by, he was 2/10 faster.
He's only got a couple of laps to do it. He has to catch that 39 and then make the pass. Chase is going to run the inside through 1 and 2 for the second to last time. He actually reels in Vinny just a little bit. Goes to the top through 3 and 4. White flag this time. Can Chase bring in the 80 of Vinny Sansone? He's done a good job opening up that gap to Joe Lusk once again, right along the bottom of the racetrack through 1 and 2. The gap down to only a couple car lengths. And then towards 3 and 4, Chase is going to go for it. Won't quite be enough, though, but Sansone and Cabré will both transfer their way into the feature race tonight.
What a drive by that 39 car of Cabré, man. From 7th up to 2nd right there in a non-stopper. Had some contact with his teammate, had some contact with some other drivers, but overcame that adversity and will punch his ticket into the back of the A main after having some problems earlier. I'm not sure if they had to make a motor swap or a car change or what happened earlier. They did not make it out for the heat race. And once again, Cabré puts on a show. He will find himself in tonight's feature event.
So there we go. We will have our 20-car grid set here for the finale here at Charlotte. Do not go away. We will be back in just a couple of moments for the 30-lap main event here at Charlotte.
History. This May in Music City. The fairgrounds goes dirt. Sprint cars sideways. A Nashville performance like never before. Engines roar, where every split second counts. The world of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars take over the Nashville Fairgrounds for 1 weekend only. Friday and Saturday, May 31st and June 1st. It's the greatest show on dirt. Reserve your seats today at worldofoutlaws.com.
The past couple of weeks, we have given you guys the opportunity to win yourself a pair of pit passes to any World of Outlaws event of your choosing, and we're giving you the opportunity again. Get on social media with the hashtag WOOSprint and at iRacing and try to get your name in for a chance to win a pair of pit passes to any World of Outlaws event of your choosing. A great opportunity for everyone out there to get themselves out there and see some amazing racing. Don't go way too fast because we're going to have some amazing racing for you tonight. Let's talk about the points just a little bit. Through this night of racing, This is how the points have updated. Alex Bergeron currently sits at 645. David Heilman at 578. That gap has come down about 7 points just through qualifying in the heat from the 74 points back David was. So the gap has come down a little bit, and this is David's opportunity and James's opportunity to really hope that 12 car had the bad night chase.
Yeah, and it's definitely a possibility. Bergeron starts back in the 13th spot, so on the back half of the grid. And we've seen the craziness that goes on in the mid-pack in these races, man. So Bergeron's really got to keep his eyes open, his ears open. He's got to make sure that he's driving smart here to not get caught up in an accident. So this is going to be interesting, man. And mentioning those tickets that we've got, in real life, speaking of real life World of Outlaws, this is pretty cool. The third week in a row that we've actually ran the same track that the real life Outlaws run on the same weekend. This weekend on the 24th and 25th, the Patriot Nationals here at the Charlotte Dirt Track. You can see that on dirtvision.com for the real life World of Outlaws. So that's pretty cool to see, man. 3 weeks in a row we ran the same track as the real life guys.
Definitely love to see the interaction there between the real series and the virtual one. But with that said, the pre-main event warm-up is finalized and complete. Let's go down your starting grid. James Edens, third place in the points, will start on the pole on the outside of the 18 of Austin Selman. David Heilemann and Joel Berkeley will make up row number 2, two of the most exciting drivers of the entire series to watch, but the 49 definitely has more to race for tonight. Cole Cabray and Nick Cooper on row number 3 with Justin Thomas and Rusty Kruger. What a row 4 we have for those guys, both starting inside of the top 10 for the main event tonight, with Matt McKinney and Ryan Mayer on row number 5. Blade Witt and Joe Quinn make up row number 6 with Alex Bergeron, your championship favorite. He starts deep in this field. He wants to come away with this championship here tonight if he can, but he rolls off 13th, and David and James have an opportunity to bring that gap down. Lewis Hewitt and Nelson Webster on row number 8, with Cole Newhoffen and Vinny Sampson on row 9, and the 421 of Britton Roxbury and the 39 of Chase Cabray tag the tail end of the 20-car field. 30 laps. We have championship contenders at the head of the field chase. We have the championship favorites stuck in the center, and we have some of the most exciting drivers to watch, the likes of Roxbury, Newhoffen, and Cabray starting in the last couple of rows. This is going to be a fireworks main event.
Yeah, this is incredible stuff right here, man. And I'm looking at the grid right now. Only one driver out of the top 12 starters has won a main event with this series, so it's pretty possible that we will see a first-time winner tonight with the iRacing.com World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Only one driver, and that's your pole sitter, James Edens, has won a future event. So this is going to be really good, man. We're going to see some new faces up front, maybe a new face in victory lane here tonight. And I'm going to definitely have one eye on Alex Bergeron and one eye for the battle for the lead here tonight.
Let's keep an eye as they roll in towards 1 and 2 of what can happen with the championship here today. Seems to me like James and Heilemann should keep this alive as they head in towards Knoxville. But as they come off of turn 2, you have to just be focused and get the job done here tonight before you ever think about next week. iRacing safety truck heads to the infield, and James Edens of Swindell Speed Labs in command of the field. They roll through 3 and 4. Well, where will James pick up the throttle? Austin tries to predict it, can't quite do it, and we are green for 30 at Charlotte.
A good start for Edens. Immediately to the top of the racetrack goes the 52 car. The 49 of David Heilemann up to the top of the racetrack to the outside of Austin Selman. He's challenging for the second spot as Cole Cabray has now moved into the 4th spot. He nearly gets an infield tire. I think he did right there through 3 and 4. He loses 2 spots to the 9 car of Joel Berkeley and the 35 of Nick Cooper. Up front, it's James Edens, followed closely by the 49 of David Heilemann. When does Heilemann make the move? Here he comes down to the inside. Here comes Heilemann for the lead. This is for the championship. Your second and third place cars right now in the championship going at it for the top spot.
Edens and Heilemann trying to run their way for $10,000. Austin's racing for bragging rights, and he's going to make a move up the inside of turn 2. Can't quite get it done as Edens and Heilemann, they'll roll the top side of the racetrack. And look in the background, the 12 car of Alex Bergeron has started making up some headway. Started this main event in the 13th spot. He already finds his way 9th with 4 positions picked up early, and he's still rolling the top side, driving right past cars.
Yeah, we've seen that 12 car be able to roll the top of the racetrack without any issues all season long. He's now made his way up to the 7th spot now as he works to the outside of Cole Cabray. That 12 car is absolutely unbelievable on the cushion at these racetracks, man. I don't know what he's got going on the setup, but that thing is locked down. as he's already tracked down the 18 car of Austin Selman for the top 5 position. Up front, James Eden's looking really good as well. Now here comes Bergeron to the outside, and Nick Cooper. He's got the 18 of Selman. Now he's looking for the 4th spot off turn number 2 and into turns 3 and 4.
Joel Berkeley rolls the top though. There were sliders for the lead. Heilemann held it for a moment, but Edens gets it back up into the 4th spot for just a second. Goes Alex Bergeron. He had it at the stripe, but he's going to shuffle back into 5th, fighting with the 35 of Nick Cooper. The 49 of Heilemann at the same time deals with your race lead. He's going to pick it up over James Edens, but once again, Edens able to pick up the momentum off the corner.
Yeah, good move there by James Edens. Turns it back to the inside. Another move by a 49 of Heilemann. That might be the move right there he needed. He's going to have momentum down to 3 and 4. I don't think James is going to be able to get up to him right here this time. He pulls up to the back bumper with not enough momentum to throw the slider on him. And David Heilemann, now your new race leader, looking for his first career series victory here tonight at Charlotte Dirt Track. Down the back straight with the 49 cars pulled out to a 1-car length advantage now. The 52 of Edens, though, not going to let him get too far away. The 3rd spot is held down by the 9 car of Joel Berkeley, and 4th is now Alex Bergeron.
Racetrack starting to slicken off a little bit. Top 4 all on the cushion. 4 of your top 6 are on the cushion. The only one rolling the middle is Nick Cooper, who's Austin is actually going to go down to the inside of him now. But your top 4 have single filed out, and this has been the most iconic top 4 I think all season. Heilemann, Edens, Berkeley, and Bergeron as they roll in towards 3. None of these guys risking in the middle, as Heilemann's actually going to run a little low off of 4. James tries to take advantage but can't do anything with it.
Yeah, the cream always rises to the top here, Randy. These are the top 4 in the point standings right now, running 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th in the points right now, running in the 6th spot. So the best drivers in the series are showing their muscle here tonight on the cushion at the Charlotte Dirt Track. James Edens, man, he is all over David Heilemann. He cannot get any closer than those two right now. Edens really biding his time. We're coming up on the halfway signal. Not this time, but the next time by. We will halfway through this 30-lap main event. David Heilemann, does he feel the pressure right now? Does he know that that 52 car of Edens is all over? I'm sure he does. He's got the rearview mirror turned on. But the 49 car, he has got to win this race to be able to track down Alex in the championship standings here.
James is just applying all sorts of pressure to the 49, and David Heilemann not letting him get away whatsoever. We're going to be halfway in this main event in just a couple of moments as David runs through 3 and 4. Edens right up there against the outside wall. All these guys against the outside wall, and we've seen a couple of these guys chase thus far this year, make a couple mistakes running the top, most notably the 3rd place runner right now, that 9 car of Joel Berkeley. We've seen him a couple times have a strong race car, but just not be able to run the top consistently. If he checks up, that could really negatively impact your championship leader. Bergeron, just like saying, he gets into the wall.
Wow, Berkeley gets into the wall right in front of your championship leader, the 12 car of Bergeron, now back down to the inside with a slide job. Takes over the 3rd spot. Now Berkeley right back down to the inside. These guys are starting to get after it. But up front right now, Randy, that 49 car is 3/10 faster a lap than the rest of the field. David Heilemann, he came to play here tonight as they continue to battle for the 3rd spot. The 12 of Bergeron back up across the nose of Berkeley, and looks like he might be in that spot solidly now. Nope, the 9 car is going to turn it back down to the inside and slide back in front of him.
Oh, but he tags the wall, but just barely, and he's going to be able to hold on to that. As out in front of your number 49 car, the race leader, you're going to start seeing a little bit of lap traffic. That's the 5 of Braden Eiler, who currently runs in 20th. We haven't seen that be relevant all year, but David Heilemann, for the first time this season, is going to get into some lap traffic here with about 10 laps to go in the main event.
Yeah, you mentioned it there, Randy. This is the first time in 9 races that we have seen these guys get in the lap traffic. And many, many times in the real-life World of Outlaws series, this is where the race is decided, in the middle of lap traffic. Look at that gaggle of cars in front of your leader, 3 wide for position back there. Looks like Blade Witt possibly Chase Cabré and the 15 car Nelson Webster. And Heilemann's definitely going to get there in the next 2 or 3 laps here. And what are these guys going to do? Are they going to move out of his way, or are they going to keep racing for position? This is going to get really interesting here in the closing laps.
That's going to be the big question as Alex is chased down. That number 52 car of James Edens now all over the back of him as they run through 1 and 2. Inside of 10 laps to go, Heilemann, he gets to that trio of lap cars. How is he going to have to deal with this? Little bit upset at the end. One of the 12 car slides. James Edens in the background. He's going to hold on to that 2nd spot for a moment, but will not be able to hold on to it as they roll in towards turn number 1 and 2 with Heilemann to the outside of all these lap cars. They'll get them all done in one shoot. That should just about seal the deal for David. It's going to be a fight for 2nd between the 52 and the 12, and these two are not going to pull any punches with one another.
Yeah, wow, that might have been the race-winning move right there for the 49 car of Heilemann to go by 3 cars in one corner. Bergeron has really got that 12 car wound up right now. I'm going to try and check the lap times. That last time by, Bergeron was 1/10 faster than the 49 of Heilemann, but Heilemann with a big lead right now, and with 3 cars in between himself and the 12 car of Alex Bergeron, with only 4 laps remaining. I don't think it's going to happen, but that last time by, Bergeron with a 14.8 and Heilemann with a 15.5. Over a half-second faster was the 12 car Bergeron. He's closing in on with 3 laps to go in this one.
We saw the opposite of this happen last week. We saw Heilemann in the late stages chasing down the 12 car. Now it's the 12 car chasing down the 49 through 3 and 4. David still has lap traffic to deal with. The 11 of Cole Newhoffen, who's running the bottom but doesn't look comfortable down there. Last trip around, Bergeron 2/10 quicker, 2 laps to go when they come off of turn 4, and Alex is bringing that gap down even more and even more. 2 to go as they get to the stripe. Can Alex get around the 11 car? David's done well to even that gap out and even up the pace just a little bit, or has he? Because Alex definitely still seems quick. Through 3 and 4, Alex is in the wall. That's going to open up the gap to the 49 of Heilemann, and he's going to see the white flag at the line.
Yeah, Heilemann to the top of the racetrack in 1 and 2. He's got a big gap now back to the 12 car Bergeron, 1 second lead. He cannot make any mistakes here in the final 2 left-hand corners. Off the top of the racetrack, he gets a little bit sideways to hang on to it. His first career series victory, David Heilemann wins at the Charlotte Dirt Track. Second spot will go to the 12 car of Alex Bergeron from 13th. He will end up second. Third spot will go to James Edens. Fourth will go to Joel Berkeley, and fifth to the number 35 car Nick Cooper. What a drive tonight by the 12 of Alex Bergeron, but a better one to the 49 of David Heilemann. We have been waiting all season long to see that guy pick up a victory, and it happens here tonight at Charlotte.
A 49 car of David Heilemann is going to be one happy camper as we go caution-free here tonight at Charlotte, and he's able to hold off a charging Alex Bergeron and pick up the race victory. Well done by the driver, that number 49 of David Heilemann. And let's go down your race results from the main event here at Charlotte. Out in front, it's David Heilemann who takes the race victory, but Alex Bergeron definitely going to be the talking point. 30 laps under green, and he picks up 11 spots to get his way up into that second position. James Edens, your pole sitter, falls back into third. Joel Berkeley finishes fourth, with Nick Cooper rounding out the top 5. Brandon Roxbury in the 421 goes from 19th up to 6th. Joe Quinn in 7th. Austin Silliman 8th. Justin Thomas in 9th. And Cole Cabre will round out your top 10. Matt McKinney in the 11th spot. Vinny Sansone in 12th. Ryan Mayer 13th. Lewis Hewitt in 14th. Those are the drivers that finish on the lead lap, with Rusty Kruger, Cole Newhoffen, Nelson Webster, Blade Witt, Braden Eiler, and Chase Cabre rounding out the 20 car field. And we've already got him. We already got the driver of the number 49 Casey Kane Racing Sim Team Napa Auto Parts car. David Heilemann, you finally have picked up a win here in 2019. How are you feeling after that one?
I'll be damned. That was great. Just got the monkey off the back, you know. What's I don't know. It's it was all good, and then I saw Alex got the second. I was like, oh well, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Man, oh man, dude, it sounds like your whole crew's excited behind you. You're getting sprayed with Gatorade or something, man. You can barely even talk out there. But my goodness, David, is this what is this what you needed, man? I hear people all the time. I hear people all the time in real life say that once they get that first victory, man, it seems like they just keep coming, and they come by a lot easier. So is this what you needed? Obviously, the season's only got one more race, but maybe next season you come out strong in the get-go and have a shot at the championship, be a little bit closer by this time at the end of the next season, man. Is this what you needed to really, get this thing going here?
Yeah, I mean, I knew these last few tracks, Eldora here and Knoxville, I'd be great at. And then even with the second at Grove last week, I was like, all right, we're really bound to make a run. And then Alex finally screwed up qualifying, but he's just, congrats to him. He absolutely, I mean, if you would have told me 6th would be my worst finisher position, 9 races in or whatever we are, I'd be like, oh, I got the championship locked. But I mean, we've pretty much hit all our goals, and checking the wing off obviously now tonight. But yeah, just congrats to him. I mean, we knew we had the setup under the car. Britton came from, I think he started last because he came from the B, and he got all the way up to 6th. So we knew we had the car. The track was good. It was just about getting there. Got a little nervous in lap traffic, and I was just like, all right, I was literally racing to the checkered flag because I just wanted to get it over with. 'Cause I was just waiting for something bad to happen, but we sweated it out and we were able to get it done.
We're going to have Knoxville in 7 days' time to put a cap on this championship, David. You're going to be 64 points back, which still technically puts you in contention, but Alex basically just has to make the main, and that's pretty much going to wrap everything up. How are you feeling going into that, what is probably, I'd say, the favorite track of a lot of these drivers in this series, going into that final race at Knoxville?
Oh, for sure. That track has been the best since it came out, and yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I think I've been, anytime I'm there, I'm the person to beat. I think 360s or 410s. I've just been really consistent on that track. Probably my best track. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, look at these last 3 weeks. We've qualified top 10 every time. So it's led to good finishes, and it just makes the whole night a lot easier.
Well, David, you mentioned about, last week you said you had given up on the championship and were just running for wins. You pick up a win. Now you say that as good as you are at Knoxville, I'm looking forward to the jinx, and you not even make the main event. Before we let you go, David.
Don't you put that voodoo out there in the world.
Hey, listen, I did it to Joel during this race as well. But, David, congratulations on finally getting the monkey off your back, getting a win in this series, and an extra $300 in your pocket, as this is actually going to do very well towards putting an extra couple thousand in your pocket, fighting for the that second spot in the championship alongside with James Edens. But before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 49?
Yeah, well, I mean, last year we only beat them by 2, and it came down to the last race, the last few laps, so tune into that. But yeah, KKR Sim Team, Nap Auto Parts, Wicked Energy Gum, Wicked Cushion, Matthew Henniger, Race Spot TV, and now I finally get to ask you guys, what you gonna do when Hylemania runs wild?
This is incredible. This is incredible television.
That may have been even more of a throwdown than what Donnie Schott said at the end of the Williams Grove race, but that's beside the point. Yeah, that's going to go to the top of the cringe comps for sure. But someone who's not going to the top of the cringe comps and is only going to the top in the running orders every single week, Alex, 13th. You start 13th, you get 30 laps green, and you wheel your way up to second. How are you so good at working your way through these fields? Because there's 2 races now I can think of that within 10 laps you had started deep in this race and found yourself in the top 5. You did it tonight at Charlotte, and you did it at the second Volusia race to about the midpoint of the season. How are you so good at getting through the mid-pack?
Just patience. Real to the top is most of the time is where it's to be at here and at Charlotte, and I knew I needed to do something for this championship. I didn't want Alleman to gain some more points on me, and I had to just force my way through and hope it sticks. The car was very good up there, and I can't thank King ABR and Jason Nygaard enough for all the good work we've done this week. Qualifying didn't go so well in the heat race either, but the race was very awesome, and that was an awesome race. 13th to second, it's awesome.
Yeah, man. So my question is were you kind of taking it easy in qualifying the heat race tonight? I mean, obviously you came with a huge lead. Were your intentions really just kind of take it easy in those races and just make sure you made it into the main event? And once you saw that David and James were starting up on the front row or towards those first couple of rows, is that when you knew that you needed to really turn it on there in the future?
Not really. My goal for tonight was to win, everything, right? As always, every race I try to go in, just try to win it. I just went in qualifying, the car just caught the slick, and it didn't win so well. Still got 13 out of that, but it didn't go well at all. In the heat race, it was all single file, and I couldn't pass at all. So I wanted to win everything, just couldn't do it.
Oh, really? You wanted to win everything. I mean, it's not like you haven't shown that this season or anything. But Alex, I mean, going into Knoxville, you're going to be in a very, very good situation. You're going to be little less than 70 points out ahead of David Heileman. So he reels in a little bit of ground on you. I believe the gap will be 64 points as you head into the final race. You basically just have to make the feature. You got yourself $10,000 heading your way. You think you can finish top 4 in one of these heat races one more time?
We never know about that. We hope for that, but everything can happen in a championship like this. And, we just got to work hard during the week and, make progress, have a good car for the weekend and for the race and, hopefully making the show.
Well, thanks for joining us, Alex, and congratulations on another amazing drive. That was an absolutely it was phenomenally fun to watch that opening 10 laps, watching you work your way up to the top 4 and then slowly pick off the likes of Nick Cooper, Joel Berkeley, and James Edens to end up with the second spot. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 12 Alex Bergeron racing car?
Well, first of all, thank you to all my partners, as always, for the support. Team ABR and Jason Nygaard for the team. Newbie.com/Kines. BK Designs for the iRacing paints. CSI Chalks, Max McLaughlin Racing, Meyer Inc. Everybody for supporting me. My dad for watching. My girlfriend too. Shout out to Coleman Gullick. He's going through his back surgery and stuff like that. So shout out to him. We're praying for him and hope he can get back behind the wheel. His dad as well for his support, and you guys for broadcasting as always for a good job. World of Outlaws and iRacing for putting this series up, and we'll see you guys next week.
There he was. Mr. Alex Bergeron comes away in the second spot, and it is a very powerhouse situation involving the points. But third place in the points is going to be the 52 car of James Edens. And James, I know that the situation for you has pretty much slipped away for in order to be able to fight with Alex for the championship, but you're not going to be too many points back from being able to fight with David Heilman for that second spot. There's only a 16-point difference between yourself and David going into the last race at Knoxville, and there's a couple $1,000 difference there between second and third. How aggressive are you going to be with that number 49 car? Because you were aggressive tonight, but I think, knowing you, I think you could have potentially leaned on him a little bit harder if there was a $2,000 difference on the line like there may be next week.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely could have been a little harder on him tonight, but I was good there the first 5-6 laps, and then the car started to go away real fast as the track changed quickly. So at that point we just kind of conserve and hope he makes a mistake and we don't. But he's one of the best up there, so it is what it is at the end of the day.
Heading into next week, man, I feel like Knoxville is probably one of the raciest tracks on the iRacing service. You get a good top, you get a good bottom, and throw some big sliders. That's going to be really interesting as far as you three, you, Alex, and David going at it next week. Because I'm sure we'll be seeing, if Alex makes it to the show with nothing going wrong, I think we'll be seeing you three towards the front of the field really battling it out here. And heading into a track that is probably the raciest one on the schedule, you got to be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime we can get something that's not, pound the fence for 30 laps is definitely more suitable for me. I can't do it like those two can, so I just hang on for everything I got. But yeah, we won Knoxville last time we were there, so on the bottom. So hopefully get a repeat of that again next week. And I think I just got to qualify better is all it was. I lost a bunch of points in qualifying to David the past couple weeks. But it's how it goes sometimes.
And James, I know you're much more of an open wheel guy, but I know you're active in the entire dirt community on the iRacing service. We got one more race of the sprint cars, and then myself and Chase's focus is going to shift as we look to go late model racing. Who do you think in the community, or should we be looking out for when we get ready to start up that World of Outlaws late model world championship here in about a month's time?
I'd like to say myself again, but I struggled last year a lot in that. But Bergeron will be good. Leonardi will always be good. And then we added some guys at Speed Lab. Kendall Tucker and Cannon. If they keep doing what they're doing, I think they'll be ones to watch too.
Thanks for joining us, James. Congratulations on another impressive night. Quick time, dominate the heat race, and a third in the main event. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 52 Swindell Speed Lab esports car?
I just got to thank Speed Lab, Bell Helmets, Wiser Organics, and then all the other people behind the scenes over there. We've had a good season so far. We just got to finish it out one more week.
There he is, the driver of the number 52, James Edens, comes home in the third spot tonight, and he's going to round out the interviews that we have for the post-race show. Chase, what a show here at Charlotte. We were talking during the pre-race show, or a little bit before we went live, actually, amongst ourselves, that Charlotte can oftentimes be a difficult racetrack to form up for the wing sprint cars. We even see that in real life as well. But this place really delivered tonight. This was a great surface once again in this championship for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If these guys didn't think that this was a racy racetrack, I mean, look at Britton Roxbury, man. He came from, 19th or something like that, came up to 6th. Alex Bergeron, obviously, he's probably the best guy in the series, came from 13th to 2nd. Passing was definitely, a possibility here tonight at Charlotte, man, and it put on a great show, and I'm excited to see what can transpire next week at Knoxville. You heard James Edens talking about it, man. He won that race last time we were there on the bottom, and David Hyland was put on the show on the top side of the racetrack. So Knoxville to end out the season, I couldn't really think of a much better place to do it at.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't either. Definitely the home of sprint car racing in the United States. So we take a peek at the updated points. Alex Bergeron, the first to break 700, which is not much of a surprise considering he managed to go from 13th all the way up to 2nd under green flag racing in those 30 laps. So he does not yet technically clinch that world championship, but he has pretty much got it done so long as he can show a little bit of consistency in that 10th race. And then after that, Chase, you and I get to change gears. I know that you and I, being from Southern California, this is open wheel land, but we got to get ready to start calling some late model races.
Yeah, I'm going to have to touch up on my fender knowledge. I'll have to go hit the dictionaries and try and figure out what those things are all about, because I'm not really much of a late model guy. But, I think it'll be an exciting, championship with those guys, as James Edens mentioned a little bit there in his interview. Another thing I kind of want to mention there, Randy, before we go, I think it is so awesome tonight that, we've had, 5 winners so far in this series this year, and it seems like David Heilemann has been, okay, I guess you can count Chase Cabrera, but it's so cool to me to hear these guys get so excited when they come here for an interview after winning one of these races. Man, it really shows how much they put into it.
Yeah, and it's great to hear, especially from all of those guys, whenever we get to talk to them at the end of the races. So shout outs to all the drivers that we've gotten a chance to talk to, and even everyone that's not running, been having the greatest season. Thank you for consistently being part of this championship and putting on the show for myself and Chase Rodman to shout over. Thank you to everyone for watching tonight. It has been a fantastic race as we need to go down, and of course thank all the sponsors. Huge thanks to the World of Outlaws as well as NOS Energy and Dirt Vision for all the support that they bring to this series. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing the championship thus far, and I think we're going to cap the season off with an exciting race at Knoxville in 7 days' time, where we will likely be putting $10,000 into Alex Bergeron's pockets. But until then, we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.